Coots and Moorhens are common inhabitants of many ponds and lakes. They can be very well seen in city wetlands as they became quite urbanized. Maybe you have seen their brood. How is it with Coot and Moorhen chicks? Do they feed by themselves? And do both parents provide parental care? Coots and Moorhens belong to the bird family Rallidae. Similarly to ducklings, Coot and Moorhen chicks leave the nest after hatching. But unlike ducklings, they are after hatching fully dependent on their parents for food. Small chicks of Coots and Moorhens are for the first week to 10 days of their life fully fed by their parents. During this time, they eat mainly invertebrates. Adults of Coots and Moorhens, on the other hand, are omnivorous. They mostly eat vegetative food, including plants, seeds, and berries. The rest are invertebrates, small fishes, and amphibians. It has been found out that the diet of Coot chicks of age 4 to 10 days consists of 90% invertebrates and only 10% of vegetative food. From invertebrates, small Coot chicks like insects, caddisfly larvae, and small-sized mollusks. Coots are monogamous and both parents participate in feeding. Sometimes they can split the brood and care for the chicks separately. They usually have only one brood per season. In their third week, chicks start to search for food by themselves, but they still get food from parents. Moorhens are mostly monogamous, but it's not so simple with them. They can also form groups where are more males with one female, or oppositely, more females with one male, and also groups where are more males and more females together. Moorhens can have more broods in one season, and interestingly, young from the earlier brood often help with feeding siblings from the younger brood. Moorhens often divide the brood between the two parents, who then feed the young separately. Both Coots and Moorhens have asynchronous hatching. Therefore, in one brood there are few days differences in chick age, which leads to hierarchy between siblings. Moreover, larger chicks of Coots were observed to be favored in feeding by parents compared to their smaller younger siblings. Moorhen parents, on the other hand, tend to allocate food more equally among chicks and ensure that all of the chicks get enough of food despite their different competitive abilities. In the Rallidae family, to which Coots and Moorhens belong, parents often show aggressive behavior towards their offspring. There are several explanations for it. For example, in divided broods, a parent may want to discourage the chick belonging to the other part of the brood from begging for food and from following it. Aggressiveness can be used towards larger competitive offspring when parents want to provide enough food also for smaller ones. Parents also use the punishment method when they want to force chicks to be already more independent. Here is a funny situation. One moorhen chick found a peach pit and soon its sibling came to see what is happening. It looks a bit like a shore party where guests are sharing food and moving here and there. Coot chicks are partly fed by parents till the age of 5 weeks and become fully independent in 6 to 8 weeks. They learn to fly during age of 7 to 9 weeks. Moorhen chicks are partially dependent on parents until about 4 to 5 weeks. They are able to fly since 7th week. Here is just a showing that moorhen chicks have similar feeding behavior as pigeon ducklings. And when they share habitat together, they often use the same parts of it. There are also differences in habitat use between moorhens and coots. Moorhens are not very good swimmers, which can be easily guessed by looking at their feet. Thus they prefer small ponds and streams. When they are on larger wetlands, they keep close to the shores. Oppositely, coots are good swimmers and spend more time on open water. They prefer larger lakes and ponds. Thank you for watching the video and have a nice coot and moorhen chick observations.